Yo, 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 what's good? It is the Academy Sports Show right here, wherever you're watching us, that be Facebook or YouTube. We appreciate you so quite kindly for being with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure, if you are on the YouTube, make sure you share to your Facebook feed, tag your favorite sports friends, so that way they can get in the comment section because the comment section be crazy up in here. And we thank you so very much for joining the show. If you want to get a hold of us, you see the tags below. I am Dre underscore on air on Instagram, and he is at jwill02. If you would like to follow the show, it is IG Academy Sports Show and Facebook Academy Sports Show. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Help us grow here at the Academy Sports Show because we are your sports show's favorite sports show. And without further ado, I'm your host, Andre Douglas. And with the rundown, my homie, the OG, the man himself, the playoff participants, 2020 was good with him. Joel Williams, what's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up? It's appreciated, man. Everybody in the building, thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, man, we're going to get right into it. Y'all already know. It's the rundown for the week. We got to open up with recap. If you might have read our preemptive message letting y'all know what we're going to talk about tonight, you notice there's been a lot of football this past week. So we got to talk TFP. Alabama is Alabama. We'll give you our rundown on Alabama, how we feel about that college football playoff, what's next for those two teams, plus what's next for the college football playoff and for college football in general. We also had a big trade that took place since the last time we were together. In the NBA, as we like to call it, the drama, the soap opera that is the National Basketball Association, it is very soap opera-ish. It is happening.
It is happening.
KD to the Nets. We talked about it. We discussed it. What if?
Harden.
You heard my opinion. You heard Dre's opinion.
Harden.
It happened. I'm sorry, Harden to the Nets. And it happened. Harden is with KD and with Kyrie. We'll give you our 2 cents on that. And I know just because we've been doing this long enough, there's gonna be a question raised about how far we think this team can go. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of us is going to make a bold prediction tonight. I can just feel it. I just feel it. NFL, we got to talk about it, man. I'm going to give a shout out to my boys when we get there one last time. Y'all didn't think I was going to come on here disappointed today, did you? We're going to represent one last time for the squad.
There you go.
From Believe Land. We got to talk playoff recap. The Final Four is set. Next week's conference championship games are in. We're going to give you our picks, let you know who we think is going to win, who we think is going to be last two standing for the Super Bowl. We're also going to talk about a little bit of the offseason. It started for a lot of other teams in the National Football League. Apparently, for both of our teams now, since we lost Sunday. But the Lions, so we got to talk about local. They got some things going on. We're going to get y'all opinion we're going to get Dre's opinion on how he feels about that. Plus, there's some other drama in the NFL right now with Deshaun Watson. Also, where might Justin Fields fall as a quarterback in this upcoming draft? And then last but not least, we will preview for you next week's games. Conference championship, Green Bay hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two quarterbacks that we both love and adore in that game. And on the other side of things, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs to decide who will be playing in the Super Bowl. That and much, much more tonight on the Academy Sports Show.
Yes, sir. Once in the live feed, please comment. Let us know you're here. And we're going to get straight to it. Like Joe said, the rundown. Alabama is Alabama. The college football is over. College football is completely done for this season. And the championship game was Ohio State versus Alabama. It's in the books. And they are who we thought they were. Nobody let them off the hook. So Alabama pretty much handled Ohio State. Justin Fields was hurt, but it just looked like some people are calling this the most complete Alabama team they've seen in a long time. The Heisman Trophy winner, Smith, at wide receiver, played one half of football, and that's all they needed.
The statistics made it look like he played 4 quarters.
Oh my God, that's all he needed. And no surprises here. I think we both kind of felt like Alabama was the better team. So moving forward, let's just give them their flowers, give them their roses, and Nick Saban just gets another.
Yeah, I'm not with the most complete Alabama team. I think the hype is there because it's been a while since you've seen an Alabama team offensively like this good offensively. It's been a while since you've seen that. So I think a lot of people got caught up in that hype where this team was just dominating in this fashion from an offensive standpoint. I'm not there on that piece. I will say this. I felt like Alabama was vulnerable because defensively, I didn't think they were as good. I think a healthy Ohio State team could have lasted more than a half. Right. I mean, they were in that game. They were down. They were going back and forth. They were battling. They were down a touchdown. And then O-State got behind by a couple touchdowns, and there was no looking back. My biggest issue with this game was, what was the D coordinator from Ohio State thinking? That's what I wanted to know. Like, what exact defense were they playing against Devontae Smith? I noticed I didn't even say against the Alabama offense. I just said against Devontae Smith.
Just one man.
What were they doing? It wasn't cover 2. It wasn't cover 3. It wasn't zone man. It wasn't man. It was free release from the line and let him run up and down the field as much as he wanted to, untouched. And every single time, this dude was catching the ball with 5 to 7, 8 yards in between him and the next defender. That was my biggest issue. I don't think that the game plan was designed really well for this team because I think Ohio State felt like they had the corner that can hang with him, and they quickly found out that wasn't the case, and then we didn't see an adjustment. So kudos to Alabama for coming out and showing that they were the dominant team of 2020 because they blew out, everybody. So call it what you will. At the end of the day, are they the best Alabama team? I'm not ready to say that, but kudos to them for doing what they did. I'm going to keep going because –
All right, I'm posting.
So Dennis said they went off on the Buckeyes. It was a massacre. Yeah, it was fast. It was bad. Defense wins games, but they didn't show up. He's the college version of Patricia. Oh, Matt Patricia. Yeah, that was my only issue with those State. Offensive side of the ball hurt. You lost your running back in the first 3 plays of the game.
Right.
You knew coming in, your quarterback wasn't full strength, so you couldn't run the football with your quarterback, which he broke off a couple runs, and that helped them. Right. At the end of the day, defensively, you did nothing to try to stop Devontae Smith.
Right. Yeah, they were limited. I remember right before we got off air, got the word that they were missing, 13 starters, 13 players on that team, and had to quickly change your mind on who you thought were going to win that game. And it matters, continuity matters. The COVID, ran rapid through them, and they weren't 100%. Justin Fields wasn't 100%, like you said. The running back, he just declared for the NFL draft today. So they were shorthanded going against a team that had a Heisman Trophy winner at receiver, and he absolutely earned it that game. Absolutely earned it. So, shout out to Ohio State, for representing the Big Ten like they did, to make it all the way to the championship game. They don't have that, Notre Dame stink on them where, somebody in that conference, we're not letting them in because, they suck. But we always have good representation thanks to Ohio State. So, they get that much love out of us. I don't find myself rooting for the Buckeyes too many times, but I was hoping that they put up a fight at least. So let's make a soft pivot, man. That's college football. Hope to have it back soon. And
he'll be back before you know it. It's 2021.
Yeah, healthy and everybody and all the teams participating on time. This abbreviated season. Appreciate them doing this best that they could in this season. So appreciate it. Yeah, when you're down 13 players to start your running back, quarterback. Yeah, it's kind of hard, especially going against Alabama. Most definitely,
I still want to know what the game plan was defensively, though. Just saying. I mean, 13 players or not, that looks like it would have been a game plan either way. And I'm just saying that wasn't it.
It wasn't. It wasn't. Let's make a pivot over to the NBA, man. Still a young season, so it's kind of hard to do power rankings. Not a lot of teams really distance themselves from the pack. Got the usual guys like the Lakers and the Clippers and the Bucks, but it's yet to be seen. But there was major development in the association, the drama that is the association, as my friend would like to say. We talked about it. We speculated it because it was around for a while. The drama that surrounded Kyrie. Is he coming back? What is he doing? What is he, is he retiring, as Stephen A. had suggested? In the midst of all that, they got James Harden, the disgruntled shooting guard out of Houston. I mean, it was ugly. It was bad there. And they pulled the trigger. Before, we talked about this, a month ago?
Yep.
Maybe not even.
We talked about it.
I asked you, I gave you that scenario of the Nets, LeVert, Dinwiddie, Afro, draft picks. He was like, I'm not giving up the core young guys on this team for James Harden.
That's what I said.
I still feel like you feel that way, but like the season went on, and when he got hurt, Kyrie went MIA. They were losing games. Do you feel better about them pulling the trigger on Harden?
No. No. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again. So here's I'm not even going to go bold yet, but I'm going to say this is my response to that pick. So what? I'm going to be the guy on this show. I'm going to be the guy tonight when it comes to this. I told you. Dennis just said the Nets don't need Kyrie. Okay. Harden and KD are dangerous. Agreed. Reunited. Sure are. Right. Exactly. I'm going to tell you again. It's not going to work.
Ooh.
It's going to look good. It's going to feel good. It's going to have its moments. Thank you, Leonardo. Me and Leonardo be on the same page a lot. This isn't going to work. Leonardo says 2 dribble dunk players and KD standing there looking. All right. Not enough basketballs. It's the old saying. It's not enough basketballs go around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, in these first couple of games, everybody's excited. They won this. Harden had a triple-double. When you told me Harden had a triple-double and you gave me the line, I was like, an assist? It's like, yeah, an assist. Okay.
Y'all almost had a quadruple-double with 9 turnovers, too.
For now. Okay? Like, the bottom line is there's this belief every time one of these trades happens that players can adjust.
Right.
And I don't believe it unless these players play the right positions that require the adjustment. Kyrie and LeBron worked for a reason. LeBron, D-Wade, Bosh works for a reason. Garnett, Allen, and Paul Pierce worked for a reason. Like, the reasons those work is because certain players have certain skill sets that go together well. AD and LeBron work well for a reason. Paul George and Kawhi, arguably, I mean, they haven't won anything, but again, work well for a reason, whether it be personality off the court or be skill set on the court. This is a skill set issue for me. Harden, dribble, shoot. Don't get fooled by him passing the ball a lot now.
Tween.
There you go.
Step back three.
Step back 3. Okay? Because that's what's going to happen. KD will distribute a little bit. Kyrie needs the ball in his hand to be really good. It's not going to work. Not going to work.
Yeah, Dennis just said it. The Harden Kyrie thing, that's the thing right there. The Harden KD thing looks to be good, right? I think Harden is good facilitating at this point, trying to figure out everybody's sweet spots, getting KD involved. I think Harden's mindset is knowing that it is KD's team, and he's fitting around that well. Adding Kyrie to that dynamic. Now, if Kyrie was already there, Harden coming in, trying to facilitate around that probably would have been harder. Now Kyrie having to fit in and knowing his personality, this guy, I mean, he's just a disruptive force, to be honest with you. Like, I think on the dislike train, Kyrie is adding more and more and more to dislike him about. I get it, bro. Like, you can be the philanthropic guy all you want to. Like, there was an article that was posted talking about he's buying George Floyd's house. Great. We appreciate all that. You on Zoom calls with senators and all the other stuff. We appreciate all of that. But your job is to play ball. That's what got you there. And that.
What's his job again, Dre? What's his job?
Play ball, bro. Play ball. You got to play ball. You can do all that. LeBron does it all, and he still plays ball every day. So it's weird. And for KD to keep caping up for him, I think he's got to see the writing on the wall. Like, he's not going to fit in this. I like KD and Harden more than I like KD and Kyrie. Adding Kyrie to that mix smells disaster. And Kyrie is definitely a one-on-one player. He's definitely a one-on-one player. At least Harden is looking to distribute the ball. He's looking to get guys in spots. He's looking to get Joe Harris his threes and lobs. Half of those turnovers are trying to get lobs to DeAndre Jordan, right? So they'll figure it out as it goes. Getting rid of Karis LeVert, understandable. I get that. Getting rid of Allen, I can understand that too, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, you got DeAndre Jordan, right?
Oh, God.
He'll last you a year, but they have similar skill sets. And in this league, that kind of player, unless you're a dominant defensive player, and maybe he'll grow into that like a Gobert, it's you don't really want to have to pay that guy. So go to Cleveland where they got a bunch of them. Him and Andre Drummond can struggle for minutes together. You know, but let him go. I'm cool with that. And you still get to keep Dinwiddie, who might be better for the playoffs or next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to give up that piece as well. So you got to keep an asset moving forward. But Kyrie is going to be the issue here. Mark my words. If this goes down, it's going to be Kyrie's fault.
Oh, you're right. I mean, it'll definitely be. Let's see. Leonardo said Harden shine because Kyrie wasn't there. Watch how things go when they lose. Yep, that's when the test will happen. All you do is spin records. Don Bill Boys Players Club. Stay in your lane and play ball. Harden passes with 2 seconds on the clock. Yeah, like, my issue, like you said, is going to be Kyrie, and it was Kyrie. It was the Kyrie KD issue to start. Like, coming into this, we were like, Kyrie and KD are going to have issues because they both got issues. Now you bring in the most prima donna of prima donna players. This man got literally kicked out of Houston. Trade him somewhere where he doesn't want to be. The way he did, y'all, send him somewhere. But I get it. In order to make a trade like this, you have to get players back, and you're going to want to get talent back.
Right.
Now, did they do that?
4 first-round draft picks.
Yes, they did that. So I get it. You did what you had to do. I just felt like – send him to the Pistons. I just felt like Brooklyn to me was going to be better for a longer period of time with the young talent and the 2 superstars, which might have ended up just being one superstar, being his KD, and maybe somebody else will come to Brooklyn to play after the Kyrie saga ends. But they went this route. I get why they went this route. I just think it's going to be multiple layers. I think it's going to be a KD issue. I mean, a Kyrie issue, like you said. And then I think there's going to be an issue when they start losing, like Leonardo said. Once they start losing a couple games because somebody didn't pass the ball, these guys are machines. They're not changing their games for each other. I don't believe it. Prove me wrong, please. Because I don't believe it. The only time this ever works is when you have players that play certain positions. LeBron, a positionless basketball player. He adjusts well with the AD on his team. LeBron can play well with a KD on his team. Obviously, he won a championship with a Kyrie on his team. So you have to have certain guys with certain skill sets to make this all work. At the end of the day, they got the wrong skill sets. Really good. It's going to produce these great moments, but it's not going to work. And here's my bold prediction, and I'll leave it here. They're not even going to make the finals, sir. They're not even getting out of the East. Prove me wrong, Brooklyn. It's on tape. They're not getting out of the East.
I ain't seen enough of the Bucks to go with you there.
I think the Bucks, and I think teams like the Bucks, the Celtics, Indianapolis gets better a little bit. A little bit. I think Karis LeVert's a dog.
Well, he's out. Did you read that?
No.
They found it. And that was a funny thing too. I felt like the trade probably should have been avoided. But on his they found a mass on his kidney or something like that. So he's out.
What?
Yeah.
Right. So Indy will fall. So right. Brooklyn's 8-6 right now, and they're the 5 seed.
Right. So you got to figure they'll pick up steam sooner or later.
Yeah, but Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly, because of coaching alone, to me, are going to get better.
Right.
Once they kind of gel and start playing well.
Brooklyn's
not making it out of the East.
Boston, I fail to see Boston because I haven't seen them yet, right? You still missing Kemba. He's got to insert himself. Tatum and Brown are on a tear right now, but they're going through their whole COVID thing, so it's really hard to gauge Boston. They have the talent, most definitely, but in that scenario, the Nets just have a lot of firepower of who's guarding who. Like Jaylen Brown is your best perimeter guard, so he's going to go to KD. But in that situation, who's guarding Harden? Like who's guarding Kyrie in that situation? Right. So defensively, Boston, I'm not really sure. Milwaukee is built defensively as a good defensive team. They always play good team defense. But them offensively now, like, what's there going to be their identity in crunch time when it does become that big matchup? Like pack the paint. If DeAndre Jordan doesn't get hurt, now you got a guy. You did have that rotation of guys. I understand that from your standpoint, but if you pack the paint, like before, you wasn't too high on Jrue Holiday. So it's like you just got to see it. Like these are 3 guys that, 2 guys got rings and 1 guy's a former MVP. You know what they can do. I don't like either one of these 3 guys. I was going to say neither one of these guys, but it's 3 of them. I don't like all 3 of these. But it's hard to say. Like, if one goes down, you still got 2. Like, that's really hard.
It needs to be the right combo.
Dennis asked, can Steve Nash handle these egos?
He doesn't have to. Listen, let's say it now. Like we used to do LeBron when he was on the team. Steve Nash isn't coaching this team. Come on. If we're going to do that to my boy, let's do it. Let's do it to these guys. Steve Nash ain't coaching this team. Nash ain't coaching this team, bro. 3 All-Stars and the rest. He'll call a play here and there. He ain't coaching this team. He don't have enough clout to tell somebody you taking the last shot and you're not. He's not coaching this team. If Kyrie doesn't come back, this team's got a better chance to make the finals than if Kyrie comes back. Right now, Kyrie might not come back. This dude, I think he needs psychological help, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Like, he's untrustworthy. Like, who's to say he won't pull this in the playoffs?
Right,
who's
exactly.
He won't pull this in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, let another incident happens and he has to go. Like, where are you going? Like,
right.
Like, now's the time to flip him if you want to flip him, but you can't because if Kyrie gets traded, KD signed off on it.
Exactly.
And KD's not going to sign off on it quite yet. GM blew up.
There it is.
Team for a diva. And you're already having issues with Kyrie.
Blew up the team for a diva. Future was bright.
But it was insurance for Kyrie. I think you got to have insurance for that guy. Like, you saw KD couldn't just do it by himself, right? That when it was just Kyrie, KD was losing games. He was getting his, but he was still losing games. No Dinwiddie, he was still losing games, right? In that 7-game stretch that's right now, I think it's 7. So you needed that insurance policy. So you go get Harden, and you didn't have to give up as much as you thought you had to give up for him, right? And Dinwiddie, you still got to keep Dinwiddie.
I would have rather kept LeVert. Why? Since Spencer Dinwiddie?
Baller. He ain't a dog. He ain't a dog, but he's still a ball. Like LeVert, I get it. You can obviously that's why they traded for him. He's a bucket, right? He's a bucket, and he's the future of the Pacers, right? Once he gets healthy. Nobody's saying Dinwiddie is the future of their franchise, but Dinwiddie's still a bucket. Like you had to give up LeVert.
Dennis said they'll lose to Boston.
I can't see it.
I don't know if Kip is back. The Bucks aren't ready. They won't get to the finals. Yeah, the Bucks I don't think got any better. That's the bottom line.
F you, coach. I got this.
Yeah. Well, you heard it from here. Listen,
Spencer's a bucket, bro.
They're not making the finals, sir.
I haven't seen enough from everybody else to say that. Philly's playing good ball right now, but it's Philly. Did you see with the game on the line, Ben Simmons for 3 air ball, pushing up the court. With the game on the line, Ben Simmons, are you gonna pull up for 3? No, I'm gonna pass it real fast to Maxey and see if he makes it. Like he's not that guy. He's never gonna be that guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
You're just relishing that because you hated the fact that he won Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he's trash. I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. I'll never be a Ben Simmons guy. Overhyped. Overrated Ben Simmons. But we'll see. We'll see how it happens the next couple of weeks. We'll see how the Nets go moving forward and with this whole Kyrie thing because they right now are the drama of the NBA. Everybody else is the Clippers, their storyline is they're all friends now and they want to move forward. They're trying to get on the same page. The Lakers are getting everybody integrated. They're getting on the same page. So the East is ready to be had. And if the Nets get it together, it should be very easy for them to get it.
Yeah, it's very 2020 like right now.
2020 is over, sir. It officially ended
yesterday
when the Browns got eliminated.
It officially ended yesterday. Yes.
Any more NBA for you? I think that's pretty much it. Luka's on a tear. He's the front runner for the MVP right now. He's going crazy, but he's not getting the dubs behind it.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like Luka's on a tear, and they're the 8th seed in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go ham, but you're not getting no wins. So I don't know. Like the whole headline was Luka triple-double, 35, 15, and 15, and a loss to the Bulls.
Right, but I think he had 30 in the first half.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
The Pistons let Christian Wood go?
Yep, he went to the Rockets. I'm acting like you know who Christian Wood is, first of all. That's
I know. I saw it on IG. He was getting respect on TNT.
That's because Shaq didn't know who he was.
Right, but he's obviously been playing good, so good enough to have his name called.
Yeah.
So, yes, I didn't know that the Pistons let him go.
The Pistons are actively tanking. The Pistons are actively tanking.
To get nobody.
To get another pick. Their old heads are bombed up and depleted. Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose, they got nothing. They are not invested in this season whatsoever. Trade them for whatever you can get. Let them go win somewhere else. Like you said, it was the other day. Blake Griffin is ready to go to LA. Any California team that wants Blake Griffin, he's ready to go. So to send him to California. But the Pistons, bro, they're a lottery team waiting to happen. All right, so let's make that pivot over to the NFL, man. So before we get to the Brownies, man, I just want to talk about my team a little bit before we get to the play. And this is an all-encompassing thing, right? It brings in college football. It brings in the current Deshaun Watson theories.
I want you to have your moment.
So we hired a GM, right? Dennis Dennis, you're in Michigan, right? Dennis is in Michigan. Is that he's
Yeah,
talking?
no, he's from Detroit. He's a Lions fan.
All right, so let's talk some Lions, man. Let's talk some Lions. Yes, Leonardo Blake. I don't know about retiring, but Blake needs to change his game. So let's talk some Pistons. Not Pistons. Let's talk some Lions. We got a new GM from the Rams, from the scouting department. Never been a GM, right? Never had to call no shots nowhere. He's from the scouting department. You hired a GM from the scouting department.
Yep.
You interviewed all these GMs. Louis Riddick, my pick. You hired all these GMs. The guy from Seattle wouldn't talk to you. All these other GMs that you talked to. And you picked a guy from the scouting department from the Rams. Okay. All right, black man. Go ahead, black man. Get you a job. I understand. Really tried to get into that one. Really tried to nestle into that, okay? I was like, if they get a strong coach, we'll be good, right? Strong coach. Hired Dan Campbell.
Is it official? Lion. Is it official?
It's official. Former Lion, Dan Campbell.
That wasn't even like a full bell. It was like a
assistant, because he's with the Saints, so now his season's over, so they can officially sign him. Assistant with the Saints, tight ends coach, head assistant, Dan Campbell. I can't get with it. So here's the thing. So here's every article that I read, right? Everything that I read about these two guys, character guys, right? Good guys, good men, great leaders, good culture change guys, right? I get that. I get culture change. I get all of that. But there's still people on the board that have culture change and know what they're doing. You hired two guys that don't know what the heck they're doing. They cannot lean on each other. The coach can't lean on the GM, and the GM can't lean on the coach because neither one of them knows what they're doing. Fresh face, bushy tail. But an owner that don't know how she gonna run it. From top to bottom, everybody wet behind the ears. F. Give the Lions offseason an F. Big fat F. Robert Saleh, right? Went to the Jets. Said he didn't have a great interview. I can understand. But the man knows his football. Just because he rubbed you the wrong way don't mean he couldn't change the culture. The enemy right now is interviewing with the Texans. Things came out about him. Still would have looked pretty in the newspaper. I wouldn't lie. I'm not gonna lie. Still would have looked real pretty. It's just top to bottom, wet behind the ears. So now I'm fishing. I'm fishing for a reason to like my team right now. Let's talk about the Deshaun Watson situation. Deshaun Watson says this is somethingable. Can't think of the word right now. Deshaun Watson and the Texans, how you feeling, man? Did he play his last snap? Should he feel the way he feels right now about the Texans?
Well, if Shefty says it, it's probably true. But should he feel that way? He absolutely should feel that way. This has been a long time coming. I mean, this goes back to why did they trade DeAndre Hopkins? Like, you just don't usually see the good players get shipped out when you already have the franchise players in the door. It took them too long to fire Bill O'Brien. They never retooled. Then you get rid of players to make your team go from possibly winning a division every year to at least coming into the season thinking, and you have no chance, only to then see your quarterback pretty much carry you And if you won football games, he'd be an MVP candidate. Then to your other star players, literally tell your star quarterback, I'm sorry we're wasting your youth this way. And now he's on his way out the door. So at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson, to me, you got your money. So since you got your check, yes, you want to go somewhere and win. So, my friend, you want to leave Houston for the right reasons, unlike the guy from down the road that was on your basketball team that will diva his way out of the city. You have every right. You asked to be consulted on big decisions. New GM, nope. Didn't happen. They brought the GM in, didn't consult you. And yeah, if you follow him on IG, he is in New York right now. So it's possible he could be quietly having some talks with some people. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're Deshaun Watson, you have every right to be upset right now, every right to want out of Houston because they are not going up.
Not at all. So,
but are you okay? Because you transitioned really gently. You just went and said, let's just talk about
I'm coming back.
Okay.
So with that said, Deshaun Watson to the Lions?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Anybody here for Deshaun? I'm trying to find a reason to like my team right now. Deshaun Watson to the Lions.
If that happens, you have a reason to like him. But if you're asking about how I feel about that happening, considering you just hired these two babies at coach and GM after you fired a winning coach to get you a losing coach and to bring in a Bob Quinn who supposedly knew what he was doing, here we go again with the ownership of the team making decisions. No, they're not. If they're not paying Calvin, if they're not paying Matt, they paid the quarterback. If they're not paying any other guys and building, they're not bringing in Deshaun. And if I'm Deshaun, I don't want to come here. I'm sorry.
Listen, Stafford, number 7 overall pick this year. Some first-round picks next year. That's enough, right?
That's enough. Do you trust your management team to make that decision?
I would hope so. I hope so. He's a top 5 quarterback, man, and I want him on my squad, bro.
Lions don't have a quarterback problem.
Listen, Deshaun Watson with doo-doo got them 4 games. Okay? Listen, you get Deshaun Watson, I can justify you re-signing Kenny Galladay because he'll need a number 1 receiver. And then hopefully maybe out of some terrific angel off the sky, this guy knows how to draft, and we draft a great 21 class. And we keep moving. That's all I'm saying. Deshaun Watson, I want him. Now, I just found out about this no trade clause that Deshaun Watson has. He has to agree to come to the Lions, which makes that harder.
Detroit is a great city to play football in. They love their football here in Detroit.
He has to agree to come here. But nevertheless, try. That's all I'm saying. Try.
Okay.
Try. All right. And then my last question, and if we can't get him, Justin Fields will be sitting there at 7. All mock draft says he'll be sitting there at 7. Maybe let's just restart with another quarterback.
I think that is your best option. That's to me, you draft him and let Matt play out his last year. That's it. Don't bring in Justin and make him the savior. Draft him, let him sit behind Stafford. Ohio State quarterbacks need time. They need time to bake in the oven. Let him sit behind Stafford, which, again, I've always been on Stafford's good side living in this great city. You guys don't like him. I've always pointed to he's a great quarterback. He's been good to your organization. Be good to him. The organization has not treated him well when it comes to building around him. They've never gone and said, we're going to go out and get guys because you've never had the management team. Let's see if they can do the right thing at 7. If Justin Fields is there, I agree with you 100%. He should be your draft pick.
All right. Well, the closer we get to it, hopefully more people will hop on that.
You only need 2 people to hop on it. You only need 2 people to hop on it. Your GM and your head coach.
Hey, I'm tweeting them every day. Hopefully they see it.
All right.
Spamming them. Deshaun just went from a bad organization. He's going to go to another bad organization. Yeah, it's like they didn't do nothing. Like you said, they didn't do nothing for Stafford. What makes me think they're going to do something for me if I agree to go there? Like, I'm going to agree to go to the Lions. Like, not a lot of people agree to go to the Lions unless they need the money.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get to these playoff games, man. It was a great group of games this week for teams to try to get to their championship games. Let's go straight to it, man. Let's go straight to it. The Browns in Kansas City, they played a football game. How you feeling?
One last time for my boys. Cleveland! This is for you. I sit here as a proud fan tonight. Proud. We stood the test. We stood up to them boys. And I said it before the game. I said, we just need a 2020 situation to happen. Going into this game, I picked KC last week, right? I remember I said, guys, I can't be a homer on this one. This really is not supposed to be a good one. This is going to hurt.
Right.
But as we got closer, of course, as a fan, I had hope. And I went into it going like this. This was my mindset. Let's just be in the game. If we could just be in the game at the end, I don't want to get punked. I don't want to get blown out. And if we could have a 2020 type situation take place, that'd be great. And when Mahomes went down, you said it like, whoa, how come 2020 can't happen to the Lions?
Why did 2020 choose y'all? 2020 could have definitely chose us, but they chose y'all.
They chose the Browns, baby, and we had a chance. I was so giddy. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was running around the house. We had a chance. We just couldn't get it done. They had a Michigan guy, Chad Henne, come in and make a big play. The 2 points that are tough to swallow in that game are the helmet to helmet. They ended up knocking the ball out of receivers' hands, out of bounds in the end zone.
A fumble.
That's a tough one because that touchdown helps us. Where then that second touchdown, we're actually up and not down. The other issue is, and I was talking about it with somebody at work, and you brought it up while we were watching the game. Very good call. 4th and 9, 4.5 minutes to go. Do you punt? Do you go for it? If you go for it, you don't get it, but you hold it to a field goal. You're still down by 8, so you still need a touchdown either way. I think as a first-year coach, he'll learn. He'll go back. He'll decide how he wants to handle that in the future. I'm not going to pin that on him like, oh, my God, we lost the game. Because at the end of the day, if you're a Cleveland fan, you should have woke up this morning proud of your football team. You should like where the future is. And although it's been rough, and I've been riding with Baker since the beginning, I think they should sign him. And I think they should continue to build around him. And do not trade OBJ. Do not trade OBJ. OBJ can take the top off the offense or off the defense, as they would say. And to me, we missed that big play guy. So everything had to be across the middle, slants, really good routes by Jarvis. And then, of course, you made some great throws to DPJ and stuff like that. But still, I would love to have OBJ threatening a side of the field where you guys got to worry about him and game plan for him. We missed that piece. But running game, there. Lock those guys in. Offensive line, one of the best in the league. Let's run it back next year, but let's run it back with OBJ. This year's draft should be all about making that defense more stout, get more depth on the D-line, and find us some linebackers because we got good, healthy guys coming back in the secondary.
Yep, good depth in the corner position too, because y'all always hurt that corner.
Yep.
Yep, defense.
Corners we get in the first round seem to play well.
Yeah, you. It was a great showing. It was they had a shot, and that's all you can ask for. They didn't get blown out. They didn't go out like that. So it was great to see when Mahomes went down. So you're saying we got a shot. You got a shot.
All we
It
need
was
is
like, man, if this happens, this is the most 2020 thing, bro. Like, it was fun.
God.
It was emotional. It was great. I agree with you. Definitely re-up with Baker. Him and Stefanski looks like they're on the same page. So that is, you get a quarterback, you get a head coach, you got a franchise. So get these guys on the same page, working on that playbook together. See what you can get for OBJ. I'm just saying, see what you can get. You had two guys emerge. You had Higgins emerge. You had DPJ emerge. Neither one of those are top off guys, but DPJ definitely was their deep ball guy later on in the year. So we'll see. He definitely has the speed. You know he's going to work his butt off to try to become that guy. So maybe you trust in that and see what you can get for Odell. But if you do keep Odell, he's got to know his role. His role, most of the games, may be decoy. He's got to be okay with that.
Yep.
You got to be okay with running routes just to run routes, right?
You got to be okay with winning if he says that's really what he wants to do. Do whatever it takes to win.
Right. So, and like you said, defense, draft defense, get defense, draft defense.
Yes, the O-line is crazy. And Bill Callahan's one of the best O-line coaches in the NFL. They just kept plugging guys in. It seemed like every game our tackles would get hurt, and they got down to a guy that met Baker in the locker room, a guy named Blake. They now call him.
I met a guy named Blake in the locker room.
So it'll be good. It'll be good to let's run it back. I can't wait till next season. Hopefully, you have a normal off season.
And then your coach is coach of the year, right?
He should be coach of the year. Yep, he should be coach.
You know the free agents coming up for you guys this year?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll probably have to look into that.
Key contributors: Olivier Vernon, Higgins.
I think you got to re-sign Higgins.
Ojanobi.
Ojanobi D-line.
And then Terrence Mitchell and BJ Goff. Well, those are guys you might be
okay with letting go. Yep.
Yeah, okay with letting go. Definitely see what Higgins, see what he's worth on the open market. 1-year veterans: Kevin Johnson, Carl Joseph, Sanjo, and a bunch of other people. Let them go.
Saneho, he can go. Joseph, I'd like to keep. Who else?
Yeah, those were the names. The first guys were the names. The rest of these guys are just guys.
Yeah.
Kevin Johnson, Carl Joseph, Sanjo.
I like Kevin Johnson for depth purposes.
Joe Knotson.
Yeah, keep the corners, keep the D-line, find some linebackers.
So that's great too. You don't have a lot of big decisions to make too in the offseason.
Right.
That's great.
We got a team in Cleveland, baby.
Got a team. All right, and then the other AFC game was the Bills at the Ravens. The Bills had a great defensive scheme against Lamar Jackson, and I mean, I was watching Get Up, and Greeny made a point, and he said the biggest, like, you got to look at these guys, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. They were kind of in the same boat last year, but the biggest difference between these two guys is Stephon Diggs. You agree with that?
I agree with that. That's because Lamar doesn't have a receiver to bail him out in a sense, right? He doesn't have a guy that is just going to get open and he's got that chemistry. Diggs and Allen have ridiculous chemistry. I mean, there are just some throws that he makes, but that you're like, wow. But then really what you should be saying is, wow, he caught that. There were so many throws in that game where I was like, he caught that. And because his receivers, especially Diggs, they find a way to dig balls out, catch them, get their toes in. I mean, they just find a way to get open. where you think you got this guy in a scramble drill, and he makes a play.
Yep.
And it's going to be interesting to see them this week because they have a chemistry that even sometimes you play your best on defense, you can't stop them.
Right.
And the Ravens are not slouches in the defensive secondary, but they had no answer for Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I would like to see the Ravens offense get better. Orlovsky made a point that just they need a number one receiver.
They need a receiver.
Oliver Brown is not that guy.
Yep.
So if there's a guy that can be a number one receiver that's on there, you got to pay him. You got to get another weapon for Lamar Jackson to bail him out when he needs to be bailed out. Mark Andrews, as good a tight end as he is, he's not a dynamic route runner. He's just a big guy that can get open. You know what I'm saying? You need a guy. Hollywood is a stretch the field, but you need a guy with hands. You need a Stephon Diggs because you saw what Diggs did for Josh Allen. Took his career to the next level. And, I mean, their wide receiver corps was just leftovers from other teams, right? Cole Beasley, John Brown, Stephon Diggs. So shout out to the Buffalo Bills because they did what they were supposed to do. Offensively, defensively, they beat the Ravens. Lamar did get that monkey off his back in his first playoff win. But this guy is just too dynamic to not be in the playoffs right now. They need to build around this guy a lot better. And then what's the running back situation? JK is going to be your guy. What's happening with Mark Ingram? You need another pacer back, kind of guy. What's going on with your offensive line? There's just a lot of questions with the Ravens. Can they retool and make another run?
Absolutely.
On the NFC side, we have the Green Bay Packers putting in work on the Rams. Rams just look outmatched. Packers just look too good.
He's a bad man. That number 12 is a bad man. Woo! Them boys, look, we've said it and we don't have to harp on it. When they can run the ball and he can throw the ball, they are dangerous. And they brought all three running backs to the show this past weekend. They said, you need to get a little bit of A.J. Dillon. Here, you can have some of him too. Mm-hmm. You need some Jamal Wood. You can. Oh, yeah. And we still have the other Aaron. That's ridiculous. And then Ramsey couldn't contain Devontae. So if your number one can't contain Devontae and they can run the football on you and he makes tight ends and Lazard and all the other guys look great and because you can't pressure him, they become close to being unbeatable. Now, they will be challenged this week. When we talk about these coming up games, they will be challenged. But they handled the Rams, and many thought the Rams were the worst matchup that they could possibly have and that they didn't want to see them.
Yep, I'll take that because on paper and what they've shown, the way they dismantled Seattle, that pass rush was crazy. And Green Bay's answer to that was we're going to run at you. Yes, you have a great pass rush, but how's your run defense? So we just going to keep lining up, and we just going to run it and run it and run it. And, yes, we do. We still have Devontae. So that's kind of what their formula was against them, particularly. Aaron Donald being hurt definitely played a key role in that. Goff being hurt definitely played a key. No Cooper Kupp. So I want to give the Rams they did a great job getting to that point. They were banged up, but you think with all things being equal, you still think the Packers would have came out on top of that. The Rams just didn't have enough momentum to move them forward. And great for Sean McVay, man. I feel like they're trying to figure out who they are, minus Todd Gurley now, and they figure, with Cam Akers, they got something going. Yeah. So I look for them to make some deals on a receiver tip too, but there's a strap for cash. I don't know what the Rams can do other than running back. Are you frozen? Okay.
No.
So the other NFC game was the battle of the old guys. It was Drew Brees and the Saints versus Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. This one was close for a while. I think it was 13-13 at half. And then Drew Brees, it looked like it was his last game.
Yeah.
The whole time we was watching that game, it was like, man, he can't put you down the field. Like, he can't he can't make that play. And then after, those linebackers, those great linebackers of the Buccaneers figured that out, they just start sitting on routes, jumping routes, and it was at that point it was over.
Yeah, it was almost tough to watch that because when you saw this dude was only throwing the ball intermediate 5 to 8 yards, like it was like everything was a slant or in route or a dig or a comeback or a dump. It was boring. Like all my energy was gone from the first game. And they didn't do anything in that second game that was super exciting. And it was like death by 1,000 paper cuts. Like Tampa Bay just kind of kept leaning on them until it just broke. And after multiple interceptions, you can't give Tom Brady and his offense extra chances. If I'm not mistaken, final score was 30-20, right? Yep. Tampa Bay scored 3 times off of the 3 turnovers, all touchdowns. So if you're going to give Tom 21 free points that he wouldn't have got otherwise, and y'all still would have lost 21-20. So the fact that they gave up the ball 3 times, that's just not going to happen. Tampa Bay ran it well enough, and their run defense is pretty good. They have very fast linebackers who can cover in space, and actually they're built well to beat a team like New Orleans because you're not stretching the field on
them. Yep. Good young corners, good young linebackers, decent defensive line, and just still waiting for that offense just to explode. Like they haven't had that game where they just went nuclear on anybody. You think maybe this would be the game, but New Orleans does have a good defense. They do have a good secondary, Malcolm Jenkins, Lattimore. So where do the Saints go from here? Drew Brees' last game.
Let's go.
Yep, Drew Brees' last game. Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill. You got to make that decision who's going to be the future of the Saints. I still look forward to this team to still be in the hunt every year.
Do you?
Yeah, they're built well.
Yeah,
offensive line built well. Kamara.
Change. I mean, I guess if they could go back to throwing it down the field and become more explosive, like we haven't seen the explosive Saints for what's been, I think, 2 years now. Mm-hmm. So if they can go back to being that explosive team, then I think you're absolutely right. They are built well. I like to see them go out and get another guy at receiver, though. Like, remember when they had, I think I'm forgetting his name, their second receiver, who was the complement to Mike, and I can't remember his name, but their receiving core used to be ridiculous. Where it really didn't. There were so many people who could touch the ball.
Yeah, back in the day, we had Marcus Colston.
Yeah, back when they had Colston.
Yeah, and Devery Henderson and all those guys. Yeah.
They need a group like that to get back to being explosive again.
Yeah. I mean, they got, that Smith guy. He's pretty fast, 10. I feel like he's going to be in there. But, yeah, I get you. A guy that can play over the top or underneath while Michael Thomas does his thing. I see them tap Taysom Hill, man. I think he might be the guy. I don't know. Jace, there was that clip of Jameis being patted on the head by Drew Brees talking about it's your team now. So it's kind of confusing on who's going to be the quarterback in that situation. I would think it would be Taysom Hill, but I don't know.
I don't believe in Taysom Hill.
They paid him a lot of money. I don't understand why he wouldn't be the next guy.
They paid him a lot of money to be a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I
still see that as a team that can still win 10, 11 games easy every year. So let's go to the championship games, man. In the NFC, we got the Packers and Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Brady made it to the NFC championship game. Another championship game for terrific Tom. Let's go, Brady. Let's go. But he going against that bad man. Great matchup. Great matchup in the NFC, man. Great matchup. Who goes to the Super Bowl? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers?
Man, this is going to be a good football game. And it is going to come down. I think it is going to come back down to quarterback play. I think Green Bay will be able to run the ball enough against Tampa Bay. I do think Tampa Bay's linebacking core can cover in space really well. But as we just alluded to, I think it played perfectly into the hands of the Saints because the Saints weren't going to push it downfield. I think the Packers will, we know they will, push it downfield. put those corners in bad situations. And there's not much you can put in disguise where he's not going to identify. So I think this game's going to come down to quarterback play. And that bad man going to make a couple more plays than Brady. And the Green Bay Packers will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the fact that even though it's not going to be a sold-out Lambeau, it's going to be 25 degrees. That is going to help Green Bay. And Green Bay is going to beat Tampa Bay and go to the Super Bowl. And it helps that they blew them out. That Tampa Bay blew them out by 24, 25 points last time. That helps give Green Bay exactly a clear understanding of this team that's coming in here can beat you. And I think that's enough for them. And Green Bay will be in the Super Bowl, and I still have a horse in the race.
Let us know who you think. Put it in the chat. Brady or Rodgers, who's going to the Super Bowl, and give me a score. All right.
Score. Let me give you a score. 31-17 Green Bay.
31-17.
Oh, I know he's your friend, but
y'all both got 31. 31-20 Packers. Nah, that's family. That's family.
That's family. Okay.
That's family. All right. So, my man, terrific time. He made it there again. You just keep betting against the GOAT, man. You just keep betting against the GOAT, man. I am not going against Tom Brady. I can't do it. Just my heart won't let me. Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay are playing on all cylinders right now. They do look good. They look very good. I'm picking Tampa. Hopefully, I think maybe they might have a better formula. Defensively, I think their linebackers and corner combination can put up a better front against Devontae Adams. The only thing is the pass rush. You got to keep those Smith brothers in line. You got to keep Tom upright. I want to see what's going on with their number one draft pick who went out with the ankle on the first play in that game. So we got to check and see what the offensive line is doing in Tampa. But I'm trusting Tom. I'm trusting Tom to make plays. AB had an MRI on his knee. But that might be okay because that man, Scotty Miller, Scotty needs some run, okay? Every time Scotty plays, they make plays. Tom and Scotty are like this. So AB missing reps, I'm okay with because that means Scotty going to be on the field. Goodwin just got to catch the doggone ball. He's having critical drops. And Mike Evans is Mike Evans, man. I trust him in most of those matchups. Struggled against Lattimore. Look for him to have a bounce-back game. So I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm picking Tom Brady to go back to the Super Bowl one more again. And let's go. Let's go 28-24. Go 28-24 Tampa Bay.
All right.
Let's go. Setting up the matchup. In the AFC.
You're not confident. That extra last one, that last Tom, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. It could go. It could, if the Packers eke it out, or if they put the smack down on them, I wouldn't be surprised because they are a good football team. Good football team, indeed. But I'm going with my mans because that's a great storyline. For 2 weeks, you get Tom Brady back in the Super Bowl. But who's Tom Brady going to play? We got the Buffalo Bills, the upstart Buffalo Bills versus been here, done that. Super Bowl champions of last year, Kansas City. Some question marks about Kansas City, the biggest one being, will Patrick Mahomes play? Will he pass the concussion protocol to make it to that game? And the Bills are a fine tool. Who you got? Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, maybe?
Yeah, man, listen, this game's going to be a shootout.
You can pick with Pat or without Pat. We can allow that.
With Pat. I'm picking with Pat.
You're picking with Pat.
Pat's playing. Listen, there ain't a protocol that's gonna keep Pat out this game. So it's gonna be some backroom deals made this week. Yeah, he was out. I still don't know how, because honestly, his head never hit the ground, but it is what it is. I'm picking the Super Bowl champs.
With Pat.
Okay. This is going to be a shootout, 38-31.
Ooh, shootout.
The Buffalo Bills have team speed. The Buffalo Bills have defensive speed. They will keep up a little bit with that offense. Josh Allen will keep his team in this football game. But the Kansas City Chiefs are just a team that, in every case, for the most part, have just a little bit more than enough to beat you. Yep. The moment you think you got to beat, listen, Tyreek is unguardable. And if you got a scheme for him with two people, then you have to deal with Kelsey, who's the best tight end in the game. And
so they got guys, though. Buffalo got guys. Tre'Davious White, all-pro corner. Edmonds, one of the fastest linebackers in the league. You can match him with Kelsey.
Tyreek is faster than all of them, and Kelsey is better than all of them. It's just
period.
It's just like you gotta accept it. You just gotta accept it. Like, they just have guys that are always gonna be better than you, and you can have some of the best guys to play them with. And then Mahomes is unreal. He really is. He's unreal. So I got them winning in a close game, in a battle, 38-31, Chiefs.
Yeah, listen, 32. He's a monster, right? The Honey Badger, he's a monster. I think he plays a huge role in this game. Stephon Diggs got to have a monster game for them to be in here. I don't think Buffalo has enough firepower. Neither one. I think both of these teams will abandon the run game very, very quickly.
Yeah, early. Yeah,
I think they both abandon the run game pretty quickly. You have not. I think the play calling is top notch. I think Andy Reid, Bieniemy, the play calling is top notch. I feel like they're going to find every little wrinkle, everything that they can get and take in film this week. And I trust the coaching on this one. The coaching is A1, top notch, the best you can get, 99 overall rating coaching that goes on the offensive side of Kansas City. I do like the Buffalo defense, but they can only last so long. Like we were talking about in the Cleveland game, you can't trade threes for sixes.
Right.
You can't trade threes for sevens. So you got to score touchdowns, and I don't think they'll be able to keep up. I want to give Buffalo respect, but it's hard. So I'll go 38-21.
Ooh, that's a blowout, sir.
Yeah, 38-24. I'll go 38-24. Okay. Kansas City. Too much Kelsey. Too much Kelsey.
So we both have, which every NFL fan, if you like great quarterback play, you should be hoping for, Chiefs, Packers in the Super Bowl.
I got Chiefs, Bucks in the Super Bowl. Don't get it twisted. Don't do that. You tried that.
So, all right, I have Chiefs, Packers. I have A-Rod versus Mahomes in Super Bowl. Which
is stupid, which is ridiculous. Like
Mahomes versus Brady.
Yeah, I got Mahomes versus Brady, and I tell you what, I love me some Tom Brady, but
you would love to see Mahomes versus A-Rod, wouldn't you?
Listen, Mahomes versus A-Rod, it is a better Super Bowl matchup. It is. It is a better Super Bowl to watch. I'll definitely give you that. I would definitely want to watch that more. But I got to go with my guy. And him going into the Super Bowl versus Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes remembers everything, right? Like, when they played again, after Brady beat him the year before, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm whooping that tail." He whooped that tail.
Oh, yes.
So you telling me I get to whoop that tail again for a chip? Oh, yeah, I'm going to whoop that tail again.
Yes. Exactly. That's why I want to see him and A-Rod.
Yeah. Him and A-Rod would definitely be a great matchup, but I got to go with my guy. So, I just want some Buffalo Bill magic. I just want some Cleveland Brown magic. Come on, Lions. Just get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Just people didn't know who Stefanski was. You know what I'm saying? People didn't know who Buffalo, the white boy who do Buffalo. People didn't know. Those weren't household names. Why not us, right?
Why not you guys?
Why not us? Oh, man. All right. So, let's see. That was it. That's all I had on the rundown. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. You watching UFC this weekend? You watching the notorious one come back?
Probably not.
Probably not. Me neither. I watched the highlights on YouTube.
That's about
All right. So with that said, we'd like to thank our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show 1 being Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Both licensed and insured, Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up the cold, waterproofing, or daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is the real Aaron Rodgers.
No Rodgers rate, huh?
No Rodgers rate. Everybody gets the same rate. State Farm won't know what to do. If they both in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're going to have to make one together.
They would. All right, brother. Make sure let's plug all these socials, man. Follow us on both IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Hit all the socials, like, follow, and share. Make sure you hit us up. We're going live every Monday around 7 p.m. Make sure you bring your friends in the feed. Make sure you share the feed. The way it grows is you watch it, you share it, bring more people in, more opinions. The show goes longer. It's a lot more. I'll be in here sweating because I'll be yelling at people and because they don't agree with me, but I don't care. And, everything's getting ready to die down, so the more the merrier. We only got a couple more weeks of football left. Then we dive deeper into basketball season. So let's get everybody in here and make sure you follow me and Joe both on IG and Facebook so that way, whenever we go live. Anything else you got for me, my brother?
That's it, man. Everybody enjoy this championship weekend coming up. Enjoy these last 2 football games before it gets down to the big one. And we are going to get into all the other stuff once the season is over. This one's been a pleasure, though. This was fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Have a good week, everybody. See y'all.